Hi folks, welcome back. It's Nick here on our second outing on the Commodore 64 today. We're looking at an arcade conversion. This one is Toobin, published by Domark in 1989. I've already reviewed this on the ZX Spectrum and the Commodore Amiga, so let's have a look at it on the Commodore 64. The arcade cabinet was in 1988 by Atari. It's a 1 to 2 player game where you control a character going down the rapids in a rubber ring. And you must, avoid a crocodile, but you get points for picking up power-ups, going through gates, and if you dawdle too long, you will get hit by or eaten by a crocodile. There's many things to attack you. The screen gradually scrolls down as we try and avoid that log. If you get sunk by hitting too many of the obstacles, you are dead, and that's the end of the goal. So let's see how far we can get. I love this on the Commodore Amiga, it had great sound on it. Not sure what's going on with this one. It's got different sound. A little bit frustrating at the moment to control, but it's left and right. You can paddle backwards if you want, so down the rapids we go. And that's a bit weird. Okay, we bumped into an obstacle and sunk. The playability on this one at the moment, although we're only just into it, is not brilliant. Some of the charm seems to be lost, but if we pick up cans, we can fire at them at certain targets. So let's go through the gate, pick up a few more points. Has to be said, it is a lot more exciting in 2 players, where you try and nudge each other into obstacles and advance as quickly as you can. We're going down the rapids. The scenery will eventually change if you get to a certain distance, so there's a lot to do here. People will actually start shooting at you from the riverbank, because that's what you do, isn't it? When you see someone going down the river in a rubber ring, you shoot them. Maybe in Grand Theft Auto, but maybe not this. So we picked up some cans, so we should be able to shoot things now. This game is a little bit too fiddly for me. I'm not really enjoying it. I'm not sure what the reviews were back at the time, but I'm finding it arduous rather than something to relax to. Yes. Now, I think I've got the joystick set in the player 2 section rather than player 1, but it doesn't really matter. As long as I've got some control over it, we're good. You are rewarded with credits, so if you lose all your lives, you can continue from where you left off for a limited amount of time. 2, it says in the middle there. So I'm just manoeuvring myself around here. Now the crocodile may turn up eventually. He don't like people going slow down the river, and he'll chew them up. The only way you can outrun a crocodile, in the game at least, is going through one of the special gates, and then he loses all special interest. Maybe it fires an electronic charge at his brain, I do not know. I've never played this in the arcades, but I've seen it running, and it runs a lot better than this thing. It's not a terrible game. Whoops, we've been shot and sunk. It's not a terrible game, but it seems just to lack a bit of the playability for me. As I say, it's a bit more arduous than it is fun. But alright to see. There's a lot more colour than the Spectrum version. The Spectrum version was quite awkward as well, but I think I enjoyed that more than this. If you want a good version of Toobin, try out the Amiga. I don't know if it's come out on the Sega Mega Drive. That's something for me to look up. If you know, let me know. I think if it has come out on that, it'd be a pretty good version, I think. Music changes every now and again, which is good. The Commodore Amiga, or the Commodore 64 SID chip, can put up a pretty damn fine tune. Right, there's a gate. Let's go through here. The crocodile hasn't arrived yet. We tried to fire that river snake, but the can didn't really happen. Right, people are shooting at us now. You might have noticed. Why shoot at a rubber ring, man? I don't want to go off the screen. That would be bad news. You can hit rocks, that's okay, but don't hit any of these things moving about in the water. Those green cactus things, there we go, we got sunk again. It punctured our rubber ring and we're sunk. Whenever I play this game, whatever version, I just want to go to a water park. I haven't been to a water park since about the age of 14. Wow, that's a long time ago. But yeah, maybe I should take some time to... Here he comes! Time to chillax. And that's something you don't get at a water park. If you mind your own business, a crocodile doesn't come and eat your rubber ring. That doesn't happen there. This is like sort of like hillbilly jolly music. We seem to be... Maybe we're going to be chased by the Duke Boys or Boss Hogg or someone. So we seem to have got quite far into the game, more than I thought I was going to do, but we're losing all our credits. We'll have a few goes at this. These reviews are all about, would you have had another go if you bought this as a kid? Quite often it's the first or second time I've played it. And I don't think, to be honest with you, although this is fun for a few people, I don't think I would have come back to this. It's just too frustrating to manoeuvre yourself around. Yeah, so that was one go. I'm not enjoying it, folks. But admittedly, it does look nice. If you like this game back in the day, let me know. Playability is a little bit too fiddly for me, but it could be reflective of going around with a rubber ring round you. I don't know. I feel like I want to listen to the Beach Boys now. But it's a great theme. The tunes on the Amiga one are a bit better, but you'd expect that. Right, there's a beach ball there. That's a power-up. Not quite sure what that does. Down the rapids we go. I'm looking very inept in my rubber ring, but it's all about paddling. You can paddle backwards as well, which I don't seem to be doing here. I just want to go down. It's not on a timer, but as I say, that crocodile will self-regulate it. So the rocks have gone red now, so it's right into us. Oh no, see, there we go. I said oh no, but we get through a gateway, and that means the crocodile disappears. Hooray! Right, here we go. Music is getting a bit annoying now. We play a character called Jet. You probably could cheat by having a joystick connected to port 1, so when all your credits are gone from player 2 or whatever, you flip onto using the other ones. That might be a way forward. Right, come on, keep going, keep going. The other game we reviewed today on the Commodore 64, if you're watching these soon after they go up, is 180. It's a darts game. Out of the two, I'd probably prefer that one to this one, but it is quite basic. If you know nothing about darts, you probably like this one better. Here he comes again. Where's a gate? I need to get through a gate, and I've been chomped, and I was so close to that gate. Down to 2 credits. Whoop, right, that's that taken care of. See, shooting cans is the way to destroy stuff. Oh, did I get hit by that log or past it? I'm not quite sure. You can imagine 2 players zipping down here, can't you? Getting in each other's way, swearing at each other. So quite a lot of fun to be had there. I think some games either click with you or they don't. Nostalgia's got a big part of it as well. If you had this game back in the day and played it a lot as a kid, you'd probably love it. One of the games, there weren't much to it, which I enjoyed back in the day, is Scuba Dive on the ZX Spectrum. Still need to look at that on the Commodore 64. I'm always going to compare it to the Commodore 64. I think Spy Hunter was a case point, but you know, you have to judge it for the system and what it's about. And how many times you got eaten by a crocodile. Right, I think we're into our 3rd tune now, aren't we? This may be the last go, I'm not sure unless I die quite quickly. But I've got further than I thought I was going to do. These rivers go on forever. I think there's about 3 to 5 rivers you have to circulate down. But the further you get down, as you quite can see, the more condensed it is, the more things are shooting at you, and the tougher it is to advance. Crocodile follows you all the way down, so I don't know what river this is. It's not the Amazon or the Nile. I always seem to get the impression it's somewhere in America playing this game. That's where most of the water parks tend to be. A water park in the UK often doesn't get the weather, and the water be extremely cold. You need outside hot weather all the time. Yes, I desperately need to get to a water park. Maybe I can get a summer job there. What do you think? Now, but the summer's over. Well done, Nick. Good timing. Good timing. What's the Wi-Fi like? Can I do games from there? Hillbilly music started again. It's getting a bit narrow through here. The inner tube you're on's not very responsive, so making a quick decision while someone firing a javelin at you, they're always going to be favourite. And then you see, I was trying to line them up, and the crocodile come along, and it's game over. I think we'll have one last go on this. We'll have one last go, I think. See, I'm getting a bit addicted to it as we go. Right, come on, lad. So we're using the back paddling a bit more this time. See, back paddle. I haven't been utilising that enough, and I think that might be the secret to the to doing well. If you're an expert Toobin person, let me know your tips, because I'm an absolute beginner, as the song went. Well, beginner on this version anyway, but I'll use that as a convenient excuse. Oh man. Whoa, look at that. That was quite flash. If you saw someone doing that in a water park, you'd think they were the Fonz or someone. Right. Here we go. If you've ever gone down the rapids in a tube, being chased by a crocodile, let me know. Did that work out for you? How did it go? Normally, we only have one life. It's not like we get chomped by a crocodile and just use an extra credit. You get chomped by a crocodile, that's pretty fatal normally. So don't try it. I'm always going on about VR, well sometimes. VR Toobin with a crocodile. That'll be enough to stop your heart, I think. There's some cans there we can pick up. Cans of fizzy pop we can throw, hopefully not cans of beans, that might create a few extra bubbles, but that might help us get away from the crocodile. Make your own jokes about that. Right, 3 credits left. Are we doing better than last time? Probably about the same. Play that funky music, white boy. Oh, look at that. I seem to be dying every 2 seconds now. Puncture repair kit on standby. This inner tube's going to need a lot of patching constantly. Oh man, I got a wooden log in the face, and that can really upset your day. Well, apart from being chomped by a crocodile, I suppose. I think out of the two, being hit in the face with a log's probably the best option. But why pick 2? Right, we're gliding now, which happens every so often to, I think, link certain stages together. I probably score this, if you're going to force me, twist my arm, I'll probably give this 5.5 out of 10, maybe a 6. No, 5.5. So a lot of room for improvement. There are a lot better games on the Commodore 64, and I think inevitably this would frustrate you a little bit. It's not one to ease stress, I don't think. But there's a skill set there. My patience tends to be quite low with a lot of games, so if you're a patient person, then you might get a bit more out of this than what I'm doing here. First or second go. So some kids might have persisted with it. I probably would have left it alone. I can only be honest. People see different things in different games. If you're going to review them, just say what you think. Oops. Punctured. But the good thing about these reviews is we give you a decent length of review, not just like 2 or 3 minutes or a minute or less than that. So, you know, if you disagree, you can certainly see how it plays. Just get an idea. If you own the real system, which is always beneficial, or emulation, you think, is it worth tracking this down? So either way, hopefully I've done that for you. Toobin. I think it's a play on the word tubing, that you're on an inner tube. I think that's the idea, like slang. We're tubing, man. Toobin. Far out, cowabunga, and other surf words. Right, it's getting into danger territory now where people are firing stuff at us. Whoa. What is that thing? Who set this up in the water park? I don't think it is an official water park. See, we shot each other then. Credit 0. We haven't got too much long for this game. I've never completed it. If you have, let me know what happens at the end. Oh no, and I was so close to the gate. And that's game over again. Well, I hope you liked having a look at that one. I thought it was very, very average, but I like the idea. There are better versions about. So that was Toobin on the Commodore 64, published by Domark in '89 and based on the arcade cabinet from Atari in 1988. Got any comments about this game or similar games? Then please put those below. A huge thank you to everyone that subscribes to the channel, helping it grow. I always say that, and I always mean it. If you want to help a bit more, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every bit really does help, so check out that site. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.